Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of my brand new custom gaming computer from Ironside Computers, as well as showing you some new additions to what I like to call my command center. Alright, let's get right into this. This is the bad boy I'm going to be reviewing today. Let's take a second to accept all as beautiful, amazing glory. It is the nervous center, the brain to what I do like to call my command center. And believe it or not, I think this thing has reached command center status, as in it's very powerful and can control the world and all that good stuff. Pretty damn cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go through kind of like a spec list, so to speak, of what this computer has and all the different features, and pretty much why. You know, everything that I had in this computer kind of helps me do what I do, because believe it or not, being like, I guess, an avid gamer and YouTuber, which means I produce videos and things like that, having a beast computer is probably the most important piece of property I own. It's probably the most important thing ever, actually. I can't just tell you how absolutely satisfying that is. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. You feel godly. It's like a throne from which you sit on and look down upon lesser gamers. Alright, the first thing you're probably going to notice is the absolutely monstrous case that it's in. This is a full tower. I think it's called the Storm Striker. I got it in white. Probably the coolest thing about this case is there is not a air hole or opening in this entire computer that doesn't have like a removable vent. Like up here at the top for the top fan, it has this massive removable vent so you can clean the dust off pretty easily and not have to worry about like the slightest amount of dust getting into your computer. Which everyone knows is like the main thing that like computer users battle with, of keeping the computer running well and clean and where it doesn't like blow up, I guess, because you can accumulate a lot of dust in the fans of the different pieces of the computer, and also the fans for the case. Even at the bottom right here, on the side here, the back, the side, I mean, they're everywhere. So cleaning this computer is really easy, simply because it's got a really beast case, which it is pretty damn cool. It's got a whole bunch of built-in fans. Alright, I kind of like going over the fans. They've got some fans right here that are only dedicated to the SSDs and hard drives, which I have a lot of them. I have they came with the 250 gigabyte Samsung Evo SSD. Of course, I added a couple more, and then it also came with a terabyte hard drive for storage and stuff like that, which I of course added a couple more of my Western Digital hard drives, because I've got, as you can imagine, a lot of video files and a lot of assets and things like that I store, so I've got quite a lot of hard drives. I take the back off and show you, but they're just hard drives, and the SSDs are like, pretty cool looking and all that good jazz, but it's probably the most important thing you can do if you're trying to upgrade your computer, or if you're ordering a new one, both of which you can do at IronsideComputers.com, is that the SSD, no matter what your build is, will dramatically increase the speed of little things on your computer, like the startup, launching programs and things like that. And if you don't know what an SSD is, in layman's terms, it's basically a computer chip. Whereas your drives you probably use now are drives. They're disks. They spin. They they have to move. They're slow because the larger the disk get, the harder it is for I guess to move through all the different things you've saved on the disk. Whereas SSD is a computer chip, meaning it's all running constantly. There's no starting up the disk. It's just like a computer chip. You just turn it on and it's there. So your computer, will literally launch in like seconds, and programs will jump right up, and it's really only limited by the speed of which you can load the program and stuff like or whatever you're launching into your RAM. Which is pretty cool. So I got a bunch of SSDs. The ones I'm using are the Samsung Evos, 250 gigabyte. They're a pretty beast. I got a couple of different ones, because I run a lot of video games, as you can imagine, and I run a lot of programs that are really intensive for for reading and writing, I guess. Like I use Vegas, Adobe After Effects, and Cinema 4D. And with basically with this setup, I can run and render all three programs, which can be pretty intensive, and it'd still be pretty damn fast. For someone who's putting out YouTube videos at the very last minute every day, speed is very important to me. Alright, we'll go ahead and continue going through here. Probably the first thing everybody notices will be the graphics cards. Now I have two. I'm going to struggle with this because I am not very knowledgeable, I guess, overall about computers. But I think it's the GeForce GTX 780 Ti's, 3 gigabytes apiece. And it's connected with an SLI connector. And I'll open this up and put the camera in there in a minute, but it's kind of just showing it off the exteriors. But yeah, some dual card actions. Basically, I have one card hooked up to the center monitor. Oh, there goes my webcam. And then I have the second card hooked up to my others. That was a backup webcam anyways. I don't even like it. That's the new one. But, you know, that way I have basically one card managing. This is usually where I play the games on. So I have a card pretty much dedicated to just whatever video game I'm playing. And then the other card kind of handles OBS and my recording software and rendering whatever I'm rendering or whatever. I don't know. Because it all you know, uses GPU from what I understand. So that's kind of how I have that set up. Now I am a nerd, so I will eventually be trying to add a third card so they can have a card on each monitor. I just don't know if it'll fit under there because it's like a millimeter of clearance, if that. And if you're wondering why it says Zotac, I had to ask this question too. NVIDIA GeForce GTX or whatever is the one that makes the graphics card, but Zotac is the one that makes the body and the cooling system. And as you can kind of see, because I Googled it and the pictures were a little different here. This is time to take off the case. I Googled it and I wondered why it looked a little different from, you know, the NVIDIA pictures or whatever like that. But the NVIDIA one only had like 2 fans, or one really big one, and then a bunch of like, I guess, heat sink pieces of metal basically that absorb the heat and disperse it across the card or just across space. This one actually had, and I know you shouldn't take the case off while the computer's running, just in case people want to bitch at me about that, but we're dumb. But we have, I think it's like 3 fans on each card. So there's 6 fans cooling my GPUs, which is pretty neat. I'm hoping using this GoPro means it'll get really good quality and you guys can actually see this stuff. Yeah, but it's connected by an SLI. I want to go up here. I actually have, now I'm going to try to remember this. I don't remember all the numbers, but it's the 6-core Intel i7 processor. It's pretty beast from what I've heard. You know, the last one I had was a quad processor. This one has 6 cores. It's the top of the line Intel i7. Believe it or not, you know what? This is so important. We'll actually go look at it. I actually have the spec list here. It's my cheat list. It is the Intel Core i7 4930K or 4930K 3.4 gigahertz 6-core. It is pretty decent. It is pretty amazing actually. From what I can tell, it runs absolutely everything on my computers flawlessly. And rendering, like I said, I can render on 3 different pretty intensive programs at once and play a video game at the same time and have Skype and all that jazz up and OBS, doing all that stuff at once. For multitasking, it's pretty awesome. Now, like, did I notice the difference between the 6-core and the quad-core for doing things like rendering videos really fast? No, you're limited kind of by the program. But what having 6 cores and having such a beast processor does allow you to do is multitask, and multitask with ease. I'm talking running everything on your computer at once and not seeing anything. No, like what's really important, I guess, for people that might, you know, are watching this video and maybe do the same thing I do is, you know, if you're doing a whole lot of stuff and you're rendering, sometimes your videos will come out with skips and distortion and things like that when your computer was intensively doing something on another program. Not a problem with this beast, but it's also liquid cooled. I think this is the Corsair dual flow, whatever, I couldn't tell you, but it's liquid cooled. I didn't actually have that on my little list that I moved out. But yeah, and another thing is the motherboard. This is the Asus Sabertooth motherboard. I'm trying to talk about it. Let me look it up real quick. Do I even have that written down? Checking my little list again. I'm trying to do this all cool. Yeah, it is the Asus Sabertooth X79 SATA 3 USB 3 motherboard. Honestly, I picked it because it was black and it looked cool, and I thought it would match like all the other components. But it definitely it has space for I think 64 gigs of RAM, which I have 32 gigs of Corsair HyperX RAM. I believe it's Corsair HyperX RAM. Let me check. Okay, my little list doesn't say. I'm not sure if HyperX is Corsair RAM. I want to say it is though. It's HyperX Fury. I guess it's not. But there's 32 gigabytes of RAM there. It has, I think you can do 64 gigs in here, but 32 gigs of RAM, which is really important for running, you know, video games and rendering software and all that other crap. So again, pretty freaking quick. To power all this, I have a Corsair RM1000 power supply. Now I don't know a whole lot about power supplies, but I do know this one's modular, meaning if I ever want to add anything to this computer, all I always have to do is go buy the cables, which came with it, all of them, and I just plug it in. And I guess modular meaning it can kind of run at different levels so that it meets your power needs or whatever. So if you just plug something in, you don't have to change anything. It'll notice that it's got to power more and then of course increase the electricity. Of course that could all be wrong, but that's just my guess. of how that works. It also has, you know, a DVD writer player stuff that it came with, but I don't really use that very much. As far as USBs, it had plenty of USBs. You know, that's you know, someone that has a lot of little fucking things I have to add on and plug into the computer. Having a lot of USBs is really important. I still haven't figured out what the difference between the blue ones and the normal ones. There's like USB 3.0 that seems only certain things work with it, and then there's a whole bunch of USBs that go everywhere. And if you feel like it, comment below and you know, hook me up. Tell me, drop some knowledge on me. I don't know what the heck that really is. All right, but last thing I want to, I guess, appreciate is just the looks. Look at it again, because believe it or not, just like having a Honda Civic with a spoiler, I'm gonna use both hands. A Honda Civic with a spoiler and a drop kit or whatever, and having all that jazz, making your car look cool is really important. Now it can be really fast, but cars and people, car companies and people like spend a lot of money making their stuff look cool. So we're gonna pop off the lights and just appreciate the glowing awesomeness that is this computer, as it looks pretty cool. Of course, I added a TK sticker and a KOSDFF sticker, but that's just because that's what I do. But yeah, I guess I didn't really talk about all the fans. There's of course a fan in the power supply. There's two fans there. There's one back here that kind of runs, I guess the liquid cools down the liquid to put it into the cool the processor. And then there's this one massive fan up here. It's just epically huge. Covers like the entire top of the computer, which is kind of neat. So, and you know, as you can tell, kind of, I know I've been talking a lot through this video, obviously, but you know, it does run pretty quiet. And then for someone that records their voice and plays video games at the same time, that's extremely important. That's why having a liquid-cooled processor is really important. It's because you're recording sound, and having a noisy computer in the background throws off all your levels and everything, and it can make recording an absolute nightmare. But this thing is whisper quiet, son. Whisper quiet. Ironside computers, definitely go check them out. They make some absolutely beast machines for some pretty damn good prices, honestly, because I've shopped around a lot for computers, as I was going to buy this one outright before I got sponsored by Ironside. So I got pretty much the same computer, and it was actually cheaper through their model than another site I used to use, which was iBuyPower. And you know me, I buy a lot of computers because I just like computers. IronsideComputers.com, definitely go check them out. They have some great builds on there, honestly, to like match pretty much any budget. As you know, gamers usually range between their teens through college and then right out of college. So having a massive bank account to buy a computer isn't always possible. So they do some great stuff for some moderate prices. Definitely go check them out. And they have a cool looking site where you can customize your own computer and like just build pre-ones. I'm actually probably gonna get a laptop off them soon because I just got this one, but I don't really like it because it has Windows 8 on it and it's got a touchscreen, so I don't feel like taking Windows 8 off of it because then it's like, well, we got a touchscreen for no reason. So therefore, I just want another computer that's running Windows 7. I swear they thought of this and they're geniuses for it. Hope you guys enjoyed my review video. Hope you guys enjoyed looking at my command center, because I enjoy looking at it every day because it's beautiful. Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and today I'm going to be doing a review. Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and welcome to my KOSDFF here, and today I'm going to be showing you some new little additions to my